Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I guess this is a video I need to make. It's just stuff I've said occasionally, and I think people have kind of missed it. And that's, look, I've been doing YouTube for actually over 11 years. This is my second channel, so even though it was only started in 2013, I had already been doing content for a year, and actually my first channel had like 40,000 followers. So what people need to remember, I get people come back and say, but Jason, you said at one time this or that. And a lot of the stuff they quote is a period of time when I had a slightly different overall philosophy, and I was not in a good place, either in my training, in my personal life, anything else. And that was the years of 2015 up to about 2018. So in that 3-year window, if you guys notice, I was weaker. Right, that is the weakest time you guys have ever seen me in terms of my overall strength. Right? Notice my training philosophies had changed, and that's when a lot of the really stupid drama stuff that I've apologized for over the years came out. Okay? Right? It all happened kind of in that window. And I was drinking heavily. Again, I quit drinking over 4 years ago finally. I was drinking really heavily. I was in a really bad toxic relationship that brought out the worst in me. So multiple things were going on. And by the way, I don't blame that latter for the drinking. I was already starting to drink quite a bit before that, to the point where I'd been binging a lot, and then I backed off a little and was drinking more and more through that time. I'm now over 4 years sober. I have a clearer mind. So when you guys look at that training period, a lot of there was just really serious minimalism, a lot of really heavy lifting through that time, right? But did you guys ever see me in that window? Did I ever deadlift anything close to 600 pounds? No. Did I ever squat anything over 500 pounds in that period of time? No. The biggest bench you will find in that window is 325. Okay? So when you look at it that way, I was weaker. I was weaker than previously. I was less jacked than previously. Right? Compared to today or the years before that. Right? So in the previous years, a lot of my philosophy was more similar to what it's been in the last few years. Okay? I was bigger, stronger, more jacked, just all around better in the years before and after that. And I'm not saying everything in that window is bad. There's still a lot of good training advice. But it's very, very clear when you look at that period of time, I was not in a good place. I was weaker, smaller, had less results than before or after. So let's please take a lot of that with a grain of salt. So when people bring that up, I'm like, but you're talking about those years. And by that same token, the most successful stuff I put out, programs and everything else, happened in the years much before that. I've done all this great coaching in the years after that. Even though I'm older, I'm leaner and stronger than during that period of time. With a lot more coaching experience, years and years more coaching experience, right? It's 2023. I've been coaching full-time for years now, all right? So I would tell people, Stop looking at that and then saying, but you said this here. I'm like, but it also disagreed with the stuff I said in the previous years. It completely disagrees with the stuff I've said in more modern times. But, and here's the point I would make. If you have to compare the two, I'm obviously a better person than during that time. I know that I'm a better human being during that time, but let's set that aside. I'm stronger, I'm more jacked, and I have more coaching experience. So we're all different people at different points in our life. So if you were to compare that, why would you say, well, a person, let's just say it's a different person. A person over here says X and it disagrees with your Y. And I would point out, okay, person Y would be me today, is not only older, so therefore technically in theory should be weaker, is bigger, leaner, stronger, and has, I don't know, at least 5 years more coaching experience than the person X. Successful coaching experience. So why would you care what person X says? Why would you care? Why would you give them any credence in comparison to person Y? Now, people say, why don't you delete it? Because I've always said I don't want to delete videos, even stuff that's caused me some troubles in the past, within reason. Some stuff that did, I got rid of, obviously. You know, because it's documented my journey. This has been over a decade of work. It all documents where I've been. But you need to put stuff into context and time frame. You know, look at dates on things. You know, just like if someone wrote an article or made a video and it's up forever, discussing a principle based on science and evidence, and then a new meta-analysis comes out that shows that the previous studies all had funding flaws, there were all sorts of flaws in it, and modern data has debunked that, and then a new article by that same person comes out saying, oh yeah, wait, the science is updated, we have a lot more data, there were some measurement problems in the old data, and we've realized that and corrected that, the evidence is showing this. Would you then go back and say, but this old article said that, and not bother to look at what's going on currently? No, of course you wouldn't. And it's the same here. But it doesn't mean that we need to go through and delete that. It's like you don't delete old studies that have new things. We don't delete old movies because we're in a more current age, you know. No one goes and deletes their copies of Blazing Saddles because we're in an era where, you know, that video would be unacceptable if it was produced today, right? It's just history. It's history, and a lot of it shows my different evolutions as a coach and as a content provider and an entertainer and educator. And so I keep it up. And plus, it would take me for thousands of man hours to go through and find that stuff. Isn't it easier to just make current content and assume that any person who wants to know my stance is going to look at stuff I've made in the last year more closely. They're not going to want to look as much into the deeper stuff unless they're looking for just history. So that would be my advice, right? If you have to compare, please look at the more current videos and my current stances and my own experience, right? You're going to be a lot better for it. And it's going to create less confusion for you. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.